people, how's it going? Welcome to another video. So I knew this was coming, but I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. We're finally here. Iron Maiden have gone back on tour. They've done the first show, which means they've released the set list for the Run for Your Lives 2025 World Tour. When this was announced, this tour blew us away. Like, just the name of it and what the tour was about. I don't need to tell you, but I'm going to anyway. This tour being called Run for Your Lives, this tour focuses on 50 years of the band being formed, not 50 years of the first album. This is 50 years ago from 1975. The band was formed on Christmas Day, 1975. So it's just a nice 50-year anniversary for the band being alive. The tour focuses from albums 1 all the way up to album number 9. So we got Iron Maiden all the way up to Fear of the Dark, which is cool. Obviously, that's peak Maiden, you know, with a few questionable ones at the end, but still, you can't deny 80s Maiden is peak Maiden. So we've all done our videos on our set list predictions and what we want to hear and what we are excited about, what we don't want to hear, and things like that. Well, finally, the set list has been released. I am aware of what it is. I'm sharing with you my thoughts, my opinions, my reactions to certain songs being in certain places and whatnot. I've been excited to do this video all day. I saw the set list released at like 9 o'clock this morning and I was just like, oh, good God, here we go. My last tour prediction video, you know, it did well and you guys got involved with it. So let's hope that continues and we share our thoughts, feelings and opinions on the tour, on the actual set list. So, like I said, we've probably maybe all seen the set list. If you don't want to see the set list, then don't watch this video, obviously. But me, it's a big thing because I'm 50-50 whether or not I'm going to see them this time, given what country I live in. You know, I'm not in America, I'm not in Europe, I'm in New Zealand. So if I do see them on this tour, it's probably not going to be till like late 2026, if that. But yeah, without further ado, we're just going to go track by track and express thoughts, feelings, and opinions of each song. It's going to be fun. Let me know down below if you're happy with the set list, if you're disappointed by the set list, if you could swap out a few things, what would they be, and all that fun stuff. Hit the subscribe button if you love Maiden, because that's all we talk about on this channel, amongst a few other things. But yeah, let's kick it off with what I honestly think is a fantastic choice of opener. I can't remember if I put this on my prediction, but they're going to technically open with the Ides of March from Killers. I've got all the CDs over here. I should probably grab a few of them just for fun, just for context, really. Yeah, so Killers comes on. Sorry, I lied. Killers, Ides of March comes on, which is the opening song to Killers. It's the same opener that they did for, you know, all their early tours, like Live at the Rainbow and all their 70s stuff. So the fact that they're going to open with that again is just great. They're not actually playing it live. It's a track, you know, kind of along in the same vein of like the Doctor type stuff that they do at the start of the gig. And then, which is fine. I'm trying to not see too much videos of this gig because I've seen the little video that Maiden themselves put out about this tour, about how like amazing the visuals are and whatnot. But I did see one just before making this video of the intro to while they play the Ides of March, and it kind of reminds me of the Ed Hunter game, if you ever played that. It's just this 3D visual screen, you know, you're walking through the streets of London, looking at all the nostalgic places like the Cart and Horses and the Ruskin Arms and whatnot, and that's just awesome. I just think that's obviously the best opener for this. A lot of people predicted Be Quick or Be Dead. That would have been cool, but in terms of nostalgia and 50-yearness, Ides of March is fantastic. It then goes into Murders of the Rue Morgue from the same album. That's not in consecutive though. And again, like on Beast over Hammersmith, they play the tape, or they play the audio of the little bass intro that Murders in the Rue Morgue has before the band actually kicks off, you know, before they start playing live and everyone comes out. And honestly, I love Murders in the Rue Morgue. I certainly did not predict it in my setlist prediction video, but I was like, why not? It's a fantastic song. I think it's one of the underrated ones off the Killers album. It's pretty cool. You know, they've gone ham on the Killers album, to be honest. The first 4 songs are from this album. I love Murders. I think it's a great choice. They then go into Wrathchild, again, off the album, and why not? Again, it's a fun song. It hasn't been played in a little while, I don't think. It's 2.5 minutes. It's bouncy. It's great fun. It's just one of those classic, you know, early Maiden songs, you kind of have to have it there if you're going to do an early tours kind of gig. And then track 4 is the title track, Killers. So they've really gone like, let's get Killers out the way, pretty much. And did I predict Killers? I think I did. I think I said if there's one song from the Killers album that I would choose, it would be the title track, because I think it's my favorite off the second album. Killers is a fantastic song. It's gonna be interesting to hear Bruce do the high pitched squeals that Paul did on the at the start of it when they do all the sliding stuff around. Honestly. But yeah, it's an early tour gig, so again, you've got to have a song like that. It's a staple. So yeah, that's the end of Killers. I'm pretty sure. Going through it real quick. Yeah, so no more Killers from the tour, which is fine. You know, four songs kicking it off strong, and then we get into probably the best song in the set list because it's undeniably the best song they've ever written ever. Track 5 is going to be Phantom of the Opera from the debut, and honestly, I would put Phantom a tiny bit later in the set list. I think maybe at like track 8, track 9, but that's all right. They've got it in at number 5, and I'll tell you now as a spoiler. Phantom and the Iron Maiden song are the only songs off the album that they've chosen. There's no Prowler, there's no Remember Tomorrow, but we think we knew that deep down because of Bruce's statement how he'll never sing Remember Tomorrow live because technically that's Paul's song. He thinks that's Paul's finest moment, and I respect that opinion. How fun it would have been to see Remember Tomorrow live. It doesn't matter. Phantom of the Opera is the best Iron Maiden song ever. I've loved that song ever since I first heard the band. The minute I first heard that song, I was just like, fantastic stuff. It blew me away. I've gone on about it that many times. I predicted Transylvania. That's not on the set list, but that's okay. Phantom of the Opera is on there. I could leave after that. The set list is fine. After that, I'd be happy. But just in case I want to hang around, we go into track 6, and it is indeed the title track of album 3. They go with Number of the Beast, which again, it's a statement in the Iron Maiden set list for sure. But it's track 6. Do you think they've done that purely because it's track 6? Like, 666? Because it's an encore song. It's like an end of show song. At least it has been lately. But like, well, I say lately, like in the last 20 years or so, whenever they play it, it's always at the second half of the show. So to chuck it in so early is fun. But it's a statement it's a staple that I fear doesn't get played as much as some of the others, like Run to the Hills and Hallowed. It's a classic, and The Trooper. It's a classic, but I feel like it does get a backseat sometimes. Just putting it out there. So it's great to see it back. It obviously wasn't on Future Past Tour. I can't remember if it was on, what was the other one? The Senjutsu Tour. But yeah, great song, great choice. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I'm a diehard Maiden fan, so I'm going to choose whatever. Track 7, we have a little, well, I won't say it's a wild card, but we jump a few albums. We get The Clairvoyant from Seventh Son. I mean, why not? It's a pretty damn good song. It's got a great bass intro. It's pretty much The Evil That Men Do, like 2.0 with the riff, but like at the same time, I'm glad that I'm not gonna hear Madness again. What song, I can't remember what song I predicted off this album, but yeah, I'm glad that they didn't bring Madness back. Thank God they just played that at the Future Past Tour, because that song is awful. But yeah, they're going to do The Clairvoyant. I don't think did they do that on Made in England? They must have done, surely. The rehashed Made in England as well as the original. But yeah, no Moonchild, no Infinite Dreams, no Evil That Men Do. I think it's cool. It's an underrated classic from this album. This album is not my favorite, I won't lie. Lots of people know that. But like, Clairvoyant is one of the good ones. Like, it's fantastic. So yeah, again, great choice. I'm all for it. Track 8 is a bit of an epic one. Track 8 is the title track of the 5th album, Powerslave. Yeah, I wasn't too sure that they were gonna chuck that one in. Obviously, Powerslave is a pretty stacked album. It definitely took them from, like, metal heroes to metal gods. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is the definitive Maiden album. While I don't rank it at number 1 purely for nostalgic reasons, I do rank it at number 3, and I do give it the respect it deserves because it's a goddamn amazing album. 41 years old now, and it's just outright. Well, it will be 41 this year. 1984. Yeah, it's just fantastic. So yeah, what are we talking about? We're talking about Powerslave. I haven't seen it live. I'll be excited to see it live. It's a great song. It's not my favorite off the Powerslave album, but I'm okay with it. I think so. Like, it's hard for me to say I'm not okay with anything because it's an Iron Maiden show. Do you know what I mean? And it's the hype that's around this tour anyway is fantastic. So they could literally do anything from any album. I'd probably be fine with it, except Madness. But yeah, Powerslave, great song, track 8, I'm all for it. Number 9, 2 Minutes to Midnight. We're sticking with the same album. We're in a bit of a Powerslave vibe at the moment, and there were predictions that 2 Minutes was going to come back because it hadn't been played in a little while, I don't think. But I think, well, the fact that they've gone with Killers, you kind of, I'm tripping over myself. I was just about to say, I would have put this at the earlier half of the show, but then you don't want it to be too much like Live After Death and Flight 666. You don't want to do the same shows over and over again. And because we're celebrating 50 years, you can, minus the Clairvoyant, you can kind of see that we're kind of going in order. Do you know what I mean? We started with Killers and then the Debut and then the Beast. And then the Clairvoyant turns up, and now we've gone back to the Powerslave album. You know, it's kind of flowing in sequence, not 100%, but you get the vibe. You know what I mean? Let's celebrate 50 years by opening with stuff that is like 40 years. Anyway, you get what I mean? Yeah, Powerslave. Sorry, 2 Minutes to Midnight. Yeah, great song, great epic. You know, it's not the epic of the album, but it is an epic. So again, happy, all for it. And of course, they've brought back the actual Mariner. They've brought back Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which is absolutely amazing. It's somewhere back in time all over again. Do you know what I mean? We've got Phantom and we've got Mariner on the same show. I will die happy if I ever see this gig. Just looking at that photo there, like, gives me the honest chills. It's disgusting how exciting I am about the show, even though my gig could be like another 24 months away. It's fantastic. I don't need to talk about Mariner. We all excited to see it. It's great to have it back in. Hasn't been played in a long time. Pretty sure it hasn't been played. Has it been played since 2008? I don't know. You have to fact check me on that. But yeah, just fantastic song. Of course, I'm okay with that being in the set list, and it's in a great spot too. Track 10. I think it's amazing. And then track 11 is Back to Number of the Beast, which I've put over here. Track 11. Where's the Number of the Beast? I'm doing this just for fun. Track 11 is the title, well, it's sort of the title track of the tour. Track 11 is Run to the Hills. If there were 2 predictions that we could, honestly, we all knew were 100% happening, it would be Run to the Hills, because it's called Run for Your Life, and the Iron Maiden song, obviously. Yeah, haven't seen this one live in a long time. Hasn't been played in a while, I don't think. But again, will be interesting to see how Bruce sings this one with his, you know, aging and with the voice and the chorus at the end. You know, it's a hard song to sing, but it's a great song nonetheless. As much as we've heard it, it was one of the first Maiden songs I ever heard, and I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, got a soft spot for it. Rarely play it because of how much I know and love it, but yeah, you can't deny it's a staple. Yeah, and I've got no qualms with it being in the gig, so all for it. Now, this one is cool. Number 12, the title track from Seventh Son, obviously being the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. The best song on the album, absolutely 10-minute prog masterpiece. Call it whatever you want. The fact that, again, probably the same as Clairvoyant, haven't been played since Made in England. This is gonna be good. This is just gonna be awesome fun, regardless of how fast, how slow they play it. This is gonna be an epic. You're going from Mariner with a little break in the middle, and then you're gonna go back into Seventh Son. That's gonna be a feat, man. By the end of that, I'll be knocked out. Phantom, Seventh, Rhyme, all in the same show. The only thing missing from this epic gig is Alexander the Great, but we've already seen it from the last show. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, again, that was a surprise when I saw it. I was like, oh, cool as. They haven't chosen anything, you know, overplayed off this album. Seventh Son is going to go down amazing. Cannot wait for that. So yeah, no qualms, all for it. 13, we get our first Peace of Mind song, and actually, the more I think about it, I think it's the only Peace of Mind song. Yeah, wow, can you guess which one it is? Yes, it's The Trooper. Yeah, the only Peace of Mind song. Why are they? No Where Eagles Dare, no Revelations, no Icarus, which makes sense, because Icarus was on the last gig, I think. And if it wasn't, it was definitely on the Senjutsu tour. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm getting Heaven Can Wait mixed up. It was on the Legacy of the Beast tour with the Flamethrower and whatnot, so I get why that isn't played. I think Where Eagles Dare was on that as well, so yeah, that's why that stuff isn't there. But they've completely left off the back half of the album. There's no Sun and Steel, there's no To Tame a Land, there's no Still Life. So it's like, okay, we're just going to go with the classic Trooper and be done with it. Do you know what I mean? I'd have thought maybe, I've just thought of something, maybe that's something to do with Nico. I don't know. You know, obviously Nico's not on this tour. He's taken a back seat and he's retired, and that's all good. Obviously, this is Nico's first album. So I'm not saying that, like out of respect, I don't know, you've got to play the Trooper because it's a Maiden show, but like, you know, there's so many alleys you could take. It's out of the fact that we've heard half of it on the last tour. You know, all sorts of things. But yeah, this is the Trooper. What more do you want? Whoa! Would I put it in my personal set list? No, but you have to understand why they play it, because it's a staple. Do you know what I mean? You're never going to go to a Maiden gig and not hear that song. So stuff it, really. We've got no choice. It will be played. So yeah, number 13, the Trooper. Number 14 is the epic from Number of the Beast, and it is Hallowed Be Thy Name. Fantastic stuff. I'm all for it. I didn't see this one live on the last show, and I don't think they played it on the previous show either due to copyright lawsuits and whatnot. But yeah, again, a bit like the Trooper, you won't go to a Maiden show and not hear Hallowed when they're not in trouble with it. It's one of those songs, they play it every tour since it's been written, you know, rightly so. Do you know what I mean? I never get tired of listening to Hallowed Be Thy Name. It's fantastic. I never skip it. It's just the first true Iron Maiden epic, you know. So I would say Phantom is, but this one is the cemented in the concrete epic Iron Maiden song. Hallowed Be Thy Name deserves the right spot to be on here. I'm glad it's back, because that's just amazing. I don't need to talk about it. You know how it goes. Obviously, number 15, we're getting to the end now. Number 15 is Iron Maiden, the title track from the debut album. This one was guaranteed in the show because they played this at every goddamn gig ever. It's the song that closes the gigs. It's the song before the encores, obviously, but it's the song that closed the show when they were small, before they were doing encores. You know, everyone in this era of England and whatnot had title tracks, you know, self-titled debuts with self-titled songs. You know, you've got Maiden, you've got Motorhead. I think Angel Witch did one as well. You know, there's just, it was the thing to do, and it's a great song. While it's a weak song on the album, in my opinion, is in a, for the history that song holds, you have to respect it and know what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's, yeah, it's played at the end of the album, and obviously you've got to let it play out, and it's just great, and you jam it so loud, and when you see it live, you can't help but cry. So yeah, we all expected this one. Number 15, Iron Maiden. Then it's Encore time. They're opening the Encore with Aces High. You've seen the Bruce interview where he talks about like what set lists mean to them and why they choose certain songs. If you haven't, it's really insightful, and it definitely opens your eyes as to like what songs they choose and why they've chosen some of them. And I heard Bruce make a comment saying, oh, you know, I hate, like, if you're gonna put Aces High in the set list, put it in first so he can belt it and then recover later. Don't put Aces High in the Encore, which is obviously what they've done. So, you know, I've seen Aces High live once. I saw it on Somewhere Back in Time, and it went down amazing. It's obviously the amazing opener from the album. It's from Live After Death. It's just one of those absolute great songs. It is the definitive Iron Maiden single. It's got everything they need in it, you know, the guitars and the vocals and everything about it is just damn good. Yeah, so opening the Encore with Aces High, just when you thought that we were going home, you get hit with that, and it's just going to be like starting the show all over again. So I'm all for it. I think it's great. Number 17, I mean, did I not grab it? Oh, I must have forgotten about it. The only song from Fear of the Dark, yeah, they've gone with Fear of the Dark. No, they've only gone with Fear of the Dark. Random, eh? I mean, we kind of predicted it, but at the same time, no Quick or Be Dead, no Afraid to Shoot Strangers, no Wasting Love. You know, there's like, they could have, this is my bottom ranked Maiden album, but there's still some cool things on here. Imagine if they played From Here to Eternity, you know, just as a wild card. But no, we're keeping it safe because it's a crowd staple. Do you know what I mean? It's about the emotion, and it's for them. Do you know what I mean? It's their gig, it's their show, it's what they've chosen. So yeah, they're gonna choose Fear of the Dark because it goes down amazingly everywhere. You know, it might be overplayed. You know, this is overplayed, and people have argued that Hallowed is more overplayed than Fear of the Dark, but I don't care. Hallowed, I'll never get tired of that. However, I do get tired of Fear of the Dark. Like I say, this is my least favorite album. I never really listen to it, but when I do, you know, thank God the title track's on it, because it would not be worth listening to. But yeah, only song from Fear of the Dark is the title track. Fascinating. But yeah, would I put it on my set list? Probably not, but when you see it live, you'll change your opinion. And then the last song is a song from Somewhere in Time. We don't need too much of this album because we've all just seen it, and that is Wasted Years. I'm all for that being the closing. It's a fantastic song to shut the show off. There's something about it. I just saw that live on the Future Past tour in September, and belting that chorus was just honestly quite magical stuff. Do you know what I mean? I had so much fun with that. So if we get to live that again, I won't be mad. You know, like I don't need to hear anything else off this album. However, the loneliness of the long distance runner would have been awesome. That would have just been so, so cool. Or Deja Vu, one or the other, because those two are just great. Honestly, they're both amazing songs. But I totally get why they've skipped this album technically. And yeah, I'm all for Wasted Years. I've got no problem with that. But you may have noticed we're going to celebrate albums from 1 to 9, and yet let's play nothing from No Prayer for the Dying. Nothing at all. Like I say, this album has grown on me. I know a lot of people who put this way, way down the bottom, and I was like that until I listened to it again, now being in my 30s. It hit me different. Do you know what I mean? Tail Gunner, Holy Smoke, and No Prayer, the first three, they're bangers. Do you know what I mean? They could have played Tail Gunner or Holy Smoke and been fine. They could have even played Bring Your Daughter, and I reckon it would have gone down well. Do you know what I mean? We would have loved it in its moment. But yeah, a bit upsetting that they've completely skipped over it when, you know, like you play the most famous song off that, and then they skip over this one. It's almost like they want to forget about them, which is a shame because, like I said, while this one is my last, and this one is definitely underrated in terms of like I appreciate it a lot more than I did back in the day. You know, they have their moments. But yeah, I didn't design the set list, they did. They make the money, I don't. So yeah. Righto guys, that was a quick, well I say quick, it was about half an hour's quick rant and rave about the new Run For Your Lives set list. Like I said at the start, are you a fan? Are you disappointed? What would you swap out? Would you take off Phantom of the Opera and put on Prowler instead? Would you reduce the amount of songs from Killers? Would you put Can I Play With Madness on here? Do you know what I mean? No Infinite Dreams, no Moonchild, Seventh Son, all good. You know, it's, if I don't see this gig, oh well. I half expect it because of where I am. You know, they were here just before last year. And then before that, it was 2016. So like, it'd be amazing if they do come back, and I hope they do. But if they don't, I get it. Thanks for hanging out with me, team, while I sit here and get increasingly more passionate about Iron Maiden's gig set list. As we just said, let me know your thoughts. Click like, subscribe if you love Maiden, because we get real passionate about it here. But yeah, keep an eye out for the next video. Don't know what it'll be, but until that happens, everybody, stay inside, stay safe, jam some Maiden, and I'll see you all in the next video.